Shiba Inu and the SHIB token are going to be the topic of today's video. And I'm going to be showing you guys something really interesting in regards to the structure that Dogecoin set up from 2017 all the way to 2020, just before we had that breakout in 21 that saw Dogecoin largely outperform the market. And I'm going to be showing you that Shiba Inu is essentially doing the exact same thing today. Now, before I start, I just want to make this abundantly clear. I am not a massive fan of any of the meme coins really in regards to what they fundamentally do. However, the fundamentals often don't drive the price. What drives the price is people buying and selling. If you have more buyers than sellers, the price goes up, and vice versa. And there is no doubt in my mind that meme coins are going to do well in this bull market that we are now in. In fact, it's the first time ever that Bitcoin pre-halvening has gone on to put in a new all-time high. So this bull market is going to be an absolutely spectacular one. And I do think you're going to have some of the same actors that drove Dogecoin up in the manner that we saw in the last bull market take part again in this one, perhaps to a bigger degree, and not only just with Dogecoin, but with some of the other meme coins that are available. And Shiba Inu, being the second largest meme coin that the crypto space currently has to offer, I think it's about 11th in terms of coin market cap, will likely do well. And it's doing the exact same thing that Dogecoin did going into the bull market of 2021. And we're going to be showing you that in this video. Now, I don't have any specific price predictions. You guys know that I like to give my price predictions based on very commonly technical structure. So some sort of a pattern that we can derive a target technically from. I'm not really seeing any of that thus far with Shiba Inu, but I am seeing a very similar thing playing out in regards to Dogecoin and what we saw that led to Dogecoin really doing very well and actually outperforming a lot of the market. Now, leave your bias at the door when it comes to trying to make money from investing. Just because these are meme coins doesn't mean that they won't go up. And in actual fact, we've seen the contrary be true. And again, I think meme coins are going to do very well in this bull market. I think people are always going to speculate. The madness of crowds can never be underestimated. And I think Shiba is going to be a benefit of all this. So first of all, guys, let's just take a look at where Shiba is in regards to coin market cap. Whatever you think about meme coins, Dogecoin is the 9th biggest cryptocurrency in the entire space. And Shiba Inu is 10th. There's only $5 billion between them. Could we see, and let me know in the comment section if you think Shiba is actually going to outperform Dogecoin. I'm unsure. Like I say, I'm not really 100% up to date. I know there's maybe a little bit more going on with Shiba than there is Dogecoin. It's a little bit less inflationary. I know you've got Shibarium and Bone Token, all these things around it. But I'm not 100% up to date with what's going on fundamentally. This is not a fundamental analysis of Shiba Inu. This is purely a price analysis of Shiba Inu. And whatever you think about meme coins, whether you like it or not, people buy them, people speculate on them, and they go up in price in the bull market. And Dogecoin has shown us that historically. It's very much done very well in every single bull market we've had. I don't think Dogecoin is going to be the only beneficiary, and I think Shiba, being the second largest meme coin in the space, is likely going to do well in this market that we are now in. So whatever you think fundamentally about meme coins, the fact that they are outperforming some of the coins that you think fundamentally have more merit and perhaps deserve that capital more so, it's largely irrelevant because the market is the ultimate decider. You've got narratives like Wall Street Bets, you've got narratives like Elon Musk that are likely going to play a part in this bull market and potentially promote these meme coins, and thus they're going to do well as a result of it. And you've got a choice to either be on board that bandwagon and really benefit from the madness of crowds, or to ignore them due to your own biases. And I have been guilty of doing that myself. I famously came out in 2020 and said, don't buy Dogecoin. It's massively inflationary. There's nothing behind it. There's no reason to own it as a crypto. And it actually went on to outperform many of the other cryptocurrencies that I held. Lesson learned. The definition of an idiot is somebody that repeats the same thing over and over again. So this isn't an endorsement of Shiba Inu, but what it is me taking a look at the technical opportunity I see ahead of us. Let's now dive over to the Shiba Inu chart and take a look at where we are today. So Shiba Inu, I'm sure you're all aware, has done something like a 300% rally off this low here. And the interesting thing that I want people to take note of is if you look at, we have a 30 weekly moving average here. It's what I like to use for stage analysis. You can see that we were in a clear downtrend here. Then we started to chop in and around the 30 weekly moving average before flipping it, finding support and bouncing off it perfectly. This also coincided with historic volatility at a low. You have entire trading methods that are derived around volatility. If you look at Bollinger Bands, what they tracked is the volatility. And when you see a squeezing, or just like with a falling wedge, you see volatility representing a falling wedge via price action come to a point, that means that volatility is at a low point and you often get an expansion out of that. And you can see that was absolutely the case. You're at pretty much a low point in regards to volatility for Shiba. And then you got this nearly 300% move. And I don't think it is over yet. So what am I looking at and why have I brought up Dogecoin? Well, Dogecoin is the OG meme coin. It is the meme coin. It was created entirely as a meme. And since it was created, some of the founders have actually abandoned the project, even gone into hiding because of how well it did and what it was created to do and the kind of gray area surrounding it all. But what I want to do is go over to the Dogecoin chart. And I actually want to show you guys the structure that Dogecoin was in from 2017 all the way up to 2020. Now, this looks pretty impressive and it looks a hell of a lot like Shiba Inu. You can see, and this is why we like to use a 30 weekly moving average. It's a very simple tool to use. You can see chopping around it, you come up, you see real volume, you come back into it, you support off it, and then you bounce off it. You'll also notice that your volatility was very low down here, and then you get an expansion. And this was Dogecoin going into the prior bull market. And we're going to go ahead and play this and show you what then took place. Dogecoin went on and did unbelievably well. So Shiba Inu is really just here. It's in its first real volume introduction. And I think it's got something like this to come. So I don't believe it's going to see the same sort of percentages, perhaps, certainly given where it is. But I do think you are going to see new all-time highs and pretty explosive price action for the likes of Shiba Inu on the cards in much the same way that we saw a similar thing with Dogecoin. And let's just go back and actually replay this to where we think things are. It's very important. Volume is a very important tool to use. You can see this is volume. This was kind of kicking the bull market off. Not only that, you'd really broken out of all your resistance that you were pinned under and the kind of range that you were forming for Dogecoin into this spike. This is exactly where Shiba Inu is today. You have seen the volume show up. And I think this is just the first move, the first lambs of spring potentially being born for meme coins. Again, whether you like it or not, I think these coins are going to do quite well. It's up to you whether you want to speculate on them. Remember, nothing I do or say on this channel is financial advice. It's me just giving my own opinions and actually rather strangely saying I think Shiba Inu is going to do very well. Let's put these charts side by side. So what we have in front of you is we have Shiba at the top and we have Dogecoin from 2017 to 2020 on the bottom. And you can see just how similar these structures actually are. And this is what leads me to believe that, you know, we know we're in a bull market. Meme coins are going to appreciate like they do in every bull market. Shiba Inu is basically doing the exact same thing that Dogecoin did in 2021, or setting up to do a similar thing, I believe. Again, perhaps not to the same percentages. I don't think it's going to be the same sort of percentage move, but I do think it's going to go up and people are going to make money on these. And you've got to ask yourself as somebody, you know, perhaps you take yourself seriously as a crypto investor, are you willing to be outperformed by meme coins? Because that's kind of what happened to me a little bit in the last cycle. Don't get me wrong, we did extremely well. We had 100x coins. You know, we had coins that really outperformed Dogecoin, but it still did well after me coming out and saying this likely isn't going to do well because fundamentally it's garbage. The fundamentals are often disconnected with the price. Remember, the price is just moved by buyers and sellers. There's nothing really more to it. Again, if we look at what Dogecoin then went on to do, you can see after that initial sort of break, it did very well. And I think something like this, another big leg or another couple of big legs for Shiba is potentially on the card. So this is worth highlighting. If we get rid of the Dogecoin chart and just focus on the Shiba Inu chart again, if we drop down the smaller time frames, you can really see since Shiba Inu made this run, it's actually going on and supporting and potentially is in a bit of a bull pennant, which I believe is, and if you follow my daily market updates, you'll know how well we've got some of these on Bitcoin. I believe this is likely going to break to the upside, depending on where you want to draw it, where you want to take it from. You know, I think this is going to result in upside continuation for Shiba Inu. Remember, if it's going to do a similar thing to Dogecoin, we're very much expecting, after a small period of consolidation, continuation. that is potentially the roadmap I believe Shiba Inu is potentially on. After seeing its first initial rally, it's very compliant with Dogecoin's sort of schematic from 2017 to 2020. And ultimately, I do think Shiba Inu is going higher, in my opinion. On top of that, if we look at market dominance for Shiba Inu, you can see that it has actually broken out after making 1, 2, 3 impulses in regards to market cap dominance, and went from around about 0.3% all the way up nearly to 1% of the overall market. And I think this is likely to climb in line with the Shiba USD, or Tether in this case, chart. So that's really all I've got for you. I just thought it was worth sharing. There is money, I do believe, to be made in the meme coins. Remember, they are a lot more risky, a lot more volatile than some of your blue chip cryptos out there. But that doesn't mean that they can't do very well. And risk to reward thing when it comes to altcoins, I wouldn't bet the farm on them, own a large amount of them. But they are undoubtedly going to do well in this coming bull market. And I think Shiba Inu is showing us very much, I think Shiba Inu is very much setting up in the same way that Doge did going into the last bull market in 2021. We've seen the first kind of confirmation of this, and likely more upside to come. And as a crypto channel, we want to cover all things, even though we might not be the biggest fan of meme coins. I do think there's a buck to be made there. Guys, that's all I've got for you in this video. We will be reopening the Patreon shortly. If you've enjoyed the content, a like is always appreciated. So as a comment, don't forget to become a subscriber, and we'll keep you up to date as things progress. Thanks a lot for watching. I'll see you all in the next one.